where's your post-match reaction from the 247th Merseyside derby? Liverpool win 2-1. Thought it was a terrible first half from Everton. We were caught cold from a few sketchy decisions, which you could have argued might have been fouls on Iliman and Jai, and then Jack Grealish. But I felt we just left ourselves too much to do in the second half. Second half, we came out and Liverpool were hanging on for dear life. It was literally all one way after that. Great goal by just a guy, took it really well. And Everton kept the pressure on after that. The main frustration for me today is that we didn't go for it straight from the off, that we didn't expose the clear frailties at the back for Liverpool. But it's one of those. The second half performance restored a bit of pride, I suppose. But moving on, Everton need to get to grips and be on the front foot against teams earlier on. As Liverpool were there for the taking in the second half, so much so the red men forgot to lift the scarves up and start singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." So solid second half performance from Everton, but a case of too little, too late. We move on now. Got Wolves in the Cup on Wednesday, and then we're back at Hill Dickinson Stadium. So going to send this back over to Matt and the lads at the Denbigh to discuss this further at post-match. Onwards and upwards, lads.
Thank you very much to Paul Daly there, who was just coming in from Anfield with his assessment on the game. I've not heard it. I hope he's not said anything libelous about the referee or anything like that. But we are outside the Denbigh Castle. There's a few of us here. I will go around everybody to get the thoughts on that game. Everton have lost the Merseyside derby 2-1. Keith, before we start talking about the actual football, you've got a full pint there, so I want to get through to the potential annoying and libelous bits at the start before you get more drunk. Do you want to talk about the referee or the time, I don't know, at the end, or the Dewsbury Hall booking or anything like that?
Let's have all of it, one after the other. The referee is an abomination. That is, you will not see, and I include Graham Paul and Mark Clattenburg in this, you will not see a worse referee in charge of a Merseyside derby than that today. It was absolutely pathetic. From the first minute, let them get away with absolute murder. Anytime Jack Grealish had the ball, he's fouled, he's held, he's pulled, gave nothing. And you can sort of say, right, okay, it's a derby, he's letting it flow. He's gonna do that both ways. Nope, absolutely not. First time Mikalenko went anywhere near Mo Salah, free kick, right? Just atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And I think it's very indicative. What you have to look at there is the booking that he's lashed out after full time to Jack Grealish for pointing out that he let Conor Bradley away with not one, not two, not three, not even four, 5 fouls without a booking, right? And a little spot of time wasting. Grealish points that out, gets booked. That is indicative of the fact that every single referee in the FA PGMOL is a victim that was bullied at school and is taking their revenge on society now. Then we talk about the booking for Dewsbury Hall.
Have you ever seen that?
Listeners, I would be very interested if you have. Please provide case evidence of someone being booked for taking a free kick too quickly. And then the reason he gave that the free kick wasn't allowed to be taken, he was still talking to the Liverpool players. That's what he indicated.
Yep. Quickly, sorry, I did see a booking in Sunday League once, and the reason the referee gave was antics. So maybe antics. Maybe it falls under that. I don't know.
We said antiques for a second.
Antics, yeah. I mean, mate. I know I'm old, but I'm not that old.
The problem is, if he tried to give someone a yellow card in Sunday League for taking a quick free kick, he'd have been chased home. That would have been the end of the game.
That car park would have been carnage.
He would have been legged off levers. Let's not beat about the bush here. So, yeah, if you've ever seen anyone booked for taking a quick free kick, please let us see it, because that is just It's baffling. And then we talk about the 3 minutes. So
And the 1 minute. And the 1 minute in the first half. The 1 minute at the end of the first half.
I might be wrong in this. I'm digging deep into my personal archives here, but I'm pretty sure that the guideline for giving added on time is 30 seconds per substitution, 1 minute per goal. Right? So that's 4 at least. Then you throw in the time that was wasted for him to book Dewsbury Hall for the aforementioned free kick. Talking to the Liverpool players.
What's how long it takes to actually write Dewsbury Hall in his book? I mean, that's probably a little while, isn't it?
And then you throw in like every single free kick. There was a delay. It got to the stage where the commentators, as bad as the commentators were, and I'm sure we'll discuss them at some point, because I know that's a particular bugbear for Matt here. The commentators actually said every single free kick is taking a minute or more to take. Realistically, there should have been 7 or 8 minutes added on to that first half, just through all the stoppages created by the referee. But there wasn't, so there we go. Anyway, we move on. The ref was shite, but so were Everton in that first 45 minutes, and I'll let someone else deal with that.
Yeah, I just want to get like all the other bits that weren't football-y out the way first, before we talk about the actual football. But Les, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I did. I can't remember what I wanted to jump in for. But anyway, yeah. At the risk of sounding married at first sight to Australia, we didn't turn up today, did we? We just didn't. That first half, we just did not show up. And that's ultimately what undid us, really. I thought second half we were sound. We got the goal. Yeah. Did everyone, by the way, shout, "Don't shoot"? When Garner got the ball passed back to him. But I mean, the goal was great. It was a lovely layoff from Denbigh, lovely finish from Garner. But it's one of them. It's just another one of those where we've just not done enough to get something. I want to come back to the referee though. Yeah. To be fair, if we can.
Why not?
Well.
A little bit more.
So up until today, Darren England had a really good record with Everton. And it feels like he definitely got the memo.
You had to slap on the shoulder.
He definitely, yeah, he did. He definitely had the little message in his inbox. The referee wasn't the issue, but he wasn't the problem. Yeah, he was. He wasn't the reason we lost the game. We lost the game to a good goal and a goal we should have cleared up. But it was down to that 3 minute stoppage time was just crazy. Yeah. I would like to know, Liam, you might know, the last game with 3 minute stoppage time because that never ever happened.
I genuinely think it was Coventry in 1998. I mean, fair play to him.
Then, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I just think it's impressive that the most. We're talking about Darren England and we're not mentioning the fact he's named like a Bob Mortimer character because Darren England is not a real name and he lost his head the same way he's losing his hair, disgracefully. He was very poor and it's frustrating because I don't think Everton were great today. I think there was a dichotomy there. I think the first half was old Moyes, the second half was old man Moyes, which I much prefer. Who kind of will take the shackles off a little bit. I think he should have made his subs a bit sooner, but being obviously co-host of the Good Times, I've got to go back to, I love how Everton scored probably the most progressive goal he scored at Anfield, possibly since Graham Sharp. And TNT used that as an excuse to bring up Gary McAllister. It's like, if you don't think he's going to haunt us for the rest of our lives, you are not a genuine Evertonian. Every time I wake up, it's like, he's there. And I'm not one to hold grudges. It's only been, 24 years? 24 and a half, sorry. But yeah...
Liam, talk us through your Nick Barmby grudge.
What? Even good.
Have we all got one of them?
Oh yeah. No, but like Liam saying he's not one to hold grudges. But then
no swearing, please. Yeah. Good times isn't long enough for that. It's a long story. But I think today was frustrating because we scored a really good goal, but ultimately Liverpool were on the ropes a little bit, and we let them control the game. After that, we don't threaten enough. We don't get Grealish in the game enough because I mean, Ali McCoy's happy is. Even he was saying, I should give Grealish man of the match, but I'm going to give it to Gravenberch because Liverpool are winning, which not really sure how that works, but it was a great goal for us. It just felt like we failed to capitalise, and it's a frustrating one. Look, there've been much more sickening results at Anfield, and it's a frustration. But like you said at the outset, Matt, I do get a bit of hope in that some of the football we played, like we you know, there were times where we weren't hoofing it clear, we were coming out of our box and being progressive. And a big shout out for Iliman Ndiaye today, not just let's say for some of his attacking play, but his work rate was exceptional. And also a shout out back to the commentators. Mo Salah hasn't had a big moment in this game. No, he's only set up a goal. It's only like 11th goal involvement in a Merseyside derby. Is that not a big moment? But yeah, in summary, fuck Ali McCoist. Sorry.
Right, just the last thing I'd say on the refereeing thing is, like, I've never seen I've never seen a single player booked for doing that ever. Like Keith said, like,
is that on the Everton first list now though? First club to have a player booked for taking a quick
that could be
get it on the timeline.
That could be the
Bill Kenwright.
Yeah, it's like when Nias got like the retrospective red card.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that is this a new rule for the season where if you take a free kick too quickly?
This should be the first thing on the Hill Dickinson Stadium timeline. The first player booked for.
No, but this is a genuine question. So they brought in the keeper's got to get rid of the ball in 8 seconds this season. Fine, but that's not any other player. Like,
oh no, well, he took it quickly, didn't he? That's the whole point.
That's my point. That's the thing. So,
You can take a quick free kick, but that was clearly too quick.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Who
wastes time
when they're 2-1
behind?
down?
It makes no sense.
So he was
James Garner.
He was talking to the Liverpool players. That's what it was.
Well, also, this is the thing for me, like, once the whistle is gone, I don't personally understand why cards and punishments are given out specifically. So Jack Grealish went to the referee to remonstrate the fact that I've seen the number 7 of fouls specifically by Conor Bradley against him. So he went to the referee to have it, and he got booked. So as a player now, you can't go up to a referee and say, hang on, what was going on? That's ridiculous. And probably Moyes has now had a card as well. Again, this is just not me going off this. So Moyes has been booked.
Apparently so.
Grealish has been booked so you can't actually have any opinions of the officiating of any match ever. Otherwise, you'll get a card or you'll get a fine. And it's like, so what can you do? It's a.
Do you know what? Just come out in the post-match press conference and call it out for what it is.
But they'll get a fine.
Well, take the fine take the fine and put another £1 on the price of a toffee donut. I don't care. We'll sort it out. Right? We'll all pay it. We'll have a whip round. We'll have a crowdfunder.
At Goodison, not at Bramley Mall.
£2.50.
Yes, £3.50 fine. The PGMOL has gone full Cartman. Don't question my authority.
It's an authority.
I enjoy that a lot.
I get that there has to be,
I don't think you've had enough to drink.
there has to be a degree of respect for officials in the game. Otherwise, it becomes lawless and whatever,
They have
right?
to earn that respect.
But you cannot respect a referee who's performing like that and has quite clearly lost control of the situation. Like, why is he even booking him? What purpose does that serve there for taking a free kick quickly? It's going to take a long time for my head to reattach itself here because it's fully gone. It has fully and utterly gone. That is just what he said. What he said.
I think he's shouting at a bin. I'd like to add, there's a red bin down there.
There's a red bin down the road.
I would like to give a shout out to Conor Bradley though. I hope he got Jack Grealish's shirt because he was trying to swap it from the first minute. It was a bit strange. And obviously, last season at Goodison Park, he probably should have got a second yellow. But I don't want to bemoan the referee because Everton ultimately lost that game because they didn't do enough. But I think it's the infuriating inconsistency. You know, we look at Everton's first foul, there's a booking. Iliman Ndiaye, and it was a cynical foul, Iliman Ndiaye, but Everton's first foul's a booking. Jack Grealish is having his shirt ripped off his back constantly by Conor Bradley, and sometimes the referee isn't even acknowledging it.
It's that first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where like he's all over him, and like it's, you know, when it's still 0-0, like, you know, we get a free kick at that point. I think it's quite close to their goal, but yeah, like the other one is like the 3 minutes. It's just like that's just like maths, isn't it? It's like 6 subs, a goal, time wasting. Like
I completely agree, and I think, as a club, we're so guilty of talking about the Premier League being corrupt as a concept, but sometimes there's an element of paranoia there, but stuff like this, it just doesn't help, because, as you say, I was joking, and I said jokingly Coventry United, but genuinely, it's a head scratcher. It feels like 4 or 5 minutes at the minimum of added time in any game, unless you're 3 or 4 up. I think we might have got 3 minutes maybe against Leicester, we were 4-0 up last season. It was a bit bewildering, especially because there were so many stoppages in the game. It wasn't like, to Liverpool's credit, in the second half, they made it scrappy to take the sting out of it, because that's what they had to do. I don't know what's going on here, but Les is strutting around like a peacock. Get the peacock on.
There's just been a cop like walking up in a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Come on.
So,
I mean, we call them Texans, but come on.
Do you want to talk about the actual football that happened?
No.
Well,
let's address the second half first.
Well, I would say that a 2-0 there. Was it 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
28 minutes, yeah.
20. I was expecting the roof to cave in, to be honest.
Marco Silva vibes there.
Yeah, they've got Isaac and Vert on the bench. They've got the tails are up. They've won loads of games, and I think it's to our credit that the thing that we all thought was going to happen didn't actually happen. And I think obviously Idrissa Gueye gets the goal and Jai sets it up, but so much of that, Keith, is about Grealish, isn't it? Just not overawed by the occasion. Head didn't go down. Wanted the ball. Constantly trying to drive forward, create things the value of having a player who's obviously so experienced, but is so good as well. In that situation, I think without him, Everton probably go down 3 or 4-0 there.
Yeah, you're spot on. We've seen in every single game this season, Jack Grealish is Everton's number one threat. He's the number one outlet. If we're struggling to keep hold of the ball, get it to his feet, and he will carry it up the pitch, or he'll at least hold the ball and let others get involved. My big problem today was every single time I think that Grealish got the ball out on the left, he got the ball into feet, and when he cut back inside, instead of a Dewsbury Hall, a James Garner, and a Iliman Ndiaye, he was passing it to Idrissa Gueye. I thought Idrissa Gueye had a very good game today. I thought he broke up play very well in the midfield.
Bit crap of the second goal.
His goal is spectacular. I mean, what a finish. Where's he been hiding that? But he's not a creative source, is he? When you got Jack Grealish jockeying on the edge of the opposition's 18-yard box, even if you're out on the wing, whatever, right? You want that pass to be going into someone in a little bit of space who could then do something with it, rather than someone who's got to find another pass.
It should be Dewsbury Hall, really.
It should be Dewsbury Hall, and if that's a criticism of Dewsbury Hall today, then fair enough.
I think it's listless today. I don't think he got involved enough in the game, technically, in terms of getting on the ball.
Missed a big chance at 1-0, didn't he?
He did. I think one of the frustrating things with today, to speak to your point though, Keith, generally what is so annoying is we broke up play, but we didn't create any out chances, and even more frustrating is Liverpool scored 2 goals, but does Jordan Pickford have another save to make? Is there another threat? And for all their attack, I can say this now and it will haunt me April, but Florian Wirtz, not having him one bit. Not having him and Xabi Alonso one bit. Go back to Leverkusen. But genuinely, I think the frustration there is Liverpool, for all their spend, their might and their ability, they scored a couple of goals, but they didn't really threaten us, and that annoys me. That annoys me.
This is what I want to come on to next is the second half. I genuinely think Everton are the better side there. That second half, much more positive, much more creative, looking to make chances. And to be fair, obviously Everton are chasing a goal, they're trying to get back in the game. Liverpool are going to get a couple of counter attacks, and what I want to touch on here, because he's had a lot of abuse from supporters over the years and from me on this podcast in the past. Michael Keane, I thought, was magnificent today. Every single time they came forward in the second half, he was there. He held his run. He knew exactly where he had to be. He broke up so much. He won a couple of big headers. Given their pace as well, yeah.
Really positionally good, yeah.
Michael Keane, for me, is probably the best Everton player on the pitch today.
No, Jack Grealish is the best defensive player on the pitch, surely.
I don't normally agree with Coach, but it was Grealish.
Grealish was very good going forward, but out of everything Grealish did, we created one goal. Whereas Michael Keane has prevented at least 4 in that second half chances for them to be one-on-one with Everton's goalkeeper, right? That goes overlooked in the context of a game, but I thought he was fucking magnificent. He did not put a foot wrong, and he deserves the credit from that.
No, I totally agree with Keith there. I'm not a Michael Keane fan, but over the last 6 months, he's definitely been better than Tarkowski, I think. I know Tarkowski was injured, but I don't think Keane gets the plaudits because of the mistakes he's made. And Tarkowski's, Keane's very much, I think, personally, and it might be, sort of disrespect to say it, but is a meat and drink defender. He's always the man who heads the ball out the box. He's not the Beckenbauer-ish type player who will, a sweeper.
Have you seen him as a crossfield ball?
I have it, Windy Hill in Runcorn, but not in a Premier League game. No, I have seen him as a crossfield ball, and that's the thing is, Keane likes to play with a midfielder who would like to drop deep. So this is not going to come across very well on an audio podcast, but he will bring his hand forward to try and bring a defensive midfielder or a winger into him, and that's what he wants. He doesn't want to be knocking it long, and I think we played the ball far too long. Pickford does do that a lot.
Better long, we knocked it long, didn't we?
The long ball out ball should be Jake O'Brien every time, because he's always going to outmatch his fullback.
Yeah.
So if
Pickford did try that a couple of times for Fade.
As long as he's high enough up the pitch, yes.
Yeah, if you're going to play that out ball, the long ball, that's who it should be too.
Right, so, saying that. No, saying that.
Sound like you just literally thought of something in the moment right there.
Messing. I've got the worst memory ever, Matt. Come on. Barry needs to start against West Ham. He was an absolute refreshment coming on against Beto. No, I don't like having a go at Everton players. I really don't, because I want every Everton player who's on the pitch to succeed, and because why have a go at any player? Because we all want the same thing.
But there's a book coming here.
Retrospectively, Nick Barmby though.
Yeah, but
Apparently
I'm not going
to.
I've just bought it goal.
Post-match interview.
Oh, God.
So
Get the video now.
to Les's comment, redacted before, you don't have to edit it, about redacted. So Barry, I think he doesn't need the ball knocked long, and he can hold the ball up a lot more. What disappoints me with Beto is, look at the size of the guy. If I was that big, I would be bullying any defender I play against, I'd even bully the manager, the ref, the fans. Look at the size of the guy. And I'm not questioning, anything about him in any way. I'm just giving an opinion, and I don't like doing that with Everton players, because we all want the same thing, as I say. But Barry seemed to be, sort of beckoning in the ball to his feet, anything sort of waist height to be bringing it back, and then you think that he was, especially on the inside left, because Grealish was obviously going forward a lot, bringing the ball for, into. Njai, by the way, I haven't heard anyone mention how unbelievable.
So, in the first half, I thought he really struggled today.
I thought he kept us in the game. No, I thought some of his covering, some of his recoveries were unbelievable. But I want to take it aside because it's coming to my head. It's a bit off-piste, but there was one Everton-related comeback today that I think we need to discuss. And that is Jolie and Lescott's hair. Because it is a Simpsons reference for our good times lovers. But it's like when Homer walks in a lime green suit and Patty and Selma are like, oh my God. It's so on top. And fair play to him.
It's too much, isn't it?
It has to be on top, surely.
It's like he's gone and got. Like, do you know those big marker pens? He's just gone, go and get me a job, lots of them. I'm going to colour my head in. Because
it's like Cheng Toast with a paint roller.
No, it is. Because, as well, why I admire the balls of him is the peak he had when he was an Evertonian. It was, so distinct, wasn't it? And he's just gone, I'm no Steve McLaren, I'm painting over that island. I'm getting out there, and I don't care. And you know what? fair play to him, good on you, lad. All's forgiven. I'll forgive the Arsenal game because you got the balls to turn up in that hairdo. Good
To be
lad.
honest, in this rain, I could do with Steve McLaren's umbrella, to be honest. Although I am bald, and everyone's been shouting bald all game, so...
On that point as well, sorry, my last Simpsons reference, Arnie Slot uses the shine up ball out, and I'm not having another person say he doesn't. The gleam on his head in that rain was outrageous.
I don't know where to go from
Quickly, back to the football. I have felt a lot worse coming out of Merseyside derby. I felt so much worse.
resignation?
I have come out. No, I don't think it is. I've come out of this feeling quite ambivalent.
Can I bring the mood down?
Ambivalent.
Just to bring the mood down a little bit again, though. Tarkowski.
I thought he played well. He made some great tackles second half.
Second half, the first half, though.
I'm a big fan.
We were all bad first half though, apart from I felt Njai was good. I disagree with Keith on that. I felt Njai defensively was good first half.
Yeah, but
He got us out of a few holes with covering O'Brien.
I don't think he offered anywhere near enough when the ball came to him. I thought he was very negative. He refused to sort of, for a winger, to not try and go round the outside of a full-back.
Or
Round the outside.
We spent them all last week against the Lucadine.
There's one, wasn't there, where like he put a good cross in for Beto and it's behind him.
He went in, and the cross was behind the striker, so you sort of think, well, should he be putting that in front of him to run onto? Second half, I thought he was great. I thought he was much better second half, and I will say I've never seen a footballer with footwork like him at Everton, like his ability to get out of a tight space. I don't want to go in too harsh on him. I don't think that was that will rank in his like top 10 worst Everton games for me.
For me, that is like
exactly, and this is only because, and I've said this last week as well with Idrissa Gueye, whenever there's a criticism, it's because they've set such a high standard, and we're sort of...
No one says sell him, Arby.
Exactly. When you don't meet that standard, we sort of go, well, why hasn't he done it? And it's maybe us being overly harsh, and I know a lot of people that listen think I'm overly harsh to certain players. I hold them to the standard that they present on the pitch, and that's what I try and do with all of them. I don't think it was anywhere near his best game. I thought first half as well, just agreeing with Mags there, I thought Tarkowski was quite poor first half. I thought second half he was a lot better, and that's evidenced in the fact, but I don't think Jordan Pickford's made a save in that second half.
The tackle Tarkowski made from the offside pass was unbelievable.
I do just want to give a bit of Tarkowski balance to this. And
Shut up, mate.
sorry,
I'm only joking.
My issue is more just he's so inconsistent, like as proven by the fact he was terrible in the first half and decent in the second.
I think today was ripe for a Tarkowski moment, and he didn't give us it.
No,
so it was like, it was ripe for him to go through the back of someone, and he never.
We could have done with a moment like his last Merseyside derby moment, you know.
I'd have enjoyed
that. Would have been nice.
Oh boy. There's a funny moment where TNT picked it up where Van Dijk shouted towards him after they'd been tussling, and Tarkowski was 25 yards away. It's like, yeah, fair enough. Do it when he's a bit closer to you. I think it might have a bit more resonance.
With Mo Smile, by the way, the guy's on £500,000 a week is smiling, and they're 2-0 up in a derby. Yeah, he is smiling. But what I do want to say, and this isn't a football point, I'm trying to be a bit of a comedian with this, but that thing in Tyler Diblin's hair is the worst band since The Feeling, and he's got. I hope Moyes has not been playing him because of that. It's 0 out of 10, and he needs to be told. This isn't the Championship. This isn't Southampton. Take that out your hair.
A worst band since Scotland for Girls.
Listen, you know I had to watch them live this summer at a Sausage and Cider Festival, but that's another story for another day.
Can we just spend a minute of this pod on the Sausage and Cider Festival? Because holding a pint of Thatcher's and a big fan of a sausage barm, I am interested.
Well, I turned up thinking it was a beer festival.
For the record, quickly, it is Sausage and Cider Festival. Sausage and cider.
Not cider. What I will like to say though is I turned up thinking it was like, it's going to be like an tent and that. It wasn't. It was in the field. There were a load of tribute bands, and the only real band who turned up was Scouting for Girls. There also was a sausage eating competition that was chaired by Big John off Instagram, who was shouting Bosch whilst people were choking. And just in case the piece de resistance, it was the funniest weekend of my life. The piece de resistance was Barry Oakey, hosted by Sean Williamson, who played Barry, and he was dressed like he was dressed like Meatloaf. He was calling it Barry Oakey, and he called it the Baz Out to Hell Tour. It's the world tour because they went to Dubai as well, and he was doing karaoke with the crowd. It was the funnest weekend I've ever had.
I'm sorry, but no, there's absolutely no way they had a sausage and cider festival in Dubai.
In Sheffield, no, I don't think they had the sausage festival. They had Barry Oakey.
I think the first time Thierry Barry scores his first goal, we're back here doing Barry Oakey in the Denbigh, aren't we?
Stephen Merchant with the assist. Barry scored.
I feel like this podcast has gone exactly how it should have gone after what's happened today.
Has anyone got any final
can we finish on a little positive in the that is.
We didn't embarrass ourselves.
Right? That is probably the best team in the country right now. That's not saying they are the world beaters that they were of a few years ago, but they are still head and shoulders above anyone else in this league.
£500 million.
Right?
I mean,
They've
spent FC, but they have spent £500 million.
They spent £500 million on footballers in the summer, and
had to waste time against Everton.
Aside from the horror show that was that first 45 minutes, we've gone toe-to-toe with them second half and acquitted ourselves very well. This is not the Everton of a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is a different Everton, a different prospect, and the future for this football club looks so much brighter than it did.
Yeah. No despondency, is that you come out of Derby normally you feel like there's encouragement there because there's no Jesper Lindstrom, there's Tyler Dillon's come off the bench, there's there's a bit more to it.
Jack Harrison was nowhere to be seen.
One critique I would have on the manager
Hello.
What I would say is, probably could have made his subs a bit quicker, but I still like that he took Mikalenko off to bring Diblin Alcaz on and had to go. So I think you've got to give him credit for that.
He did that.
He did it with 5 minutes to go.
He did that.
By the way, can we all tell Fran to fuck off on the pod?
He did that, and I thought we were going to go 3-4-3 at that point. I thought he was going to go for it, and then he just reverted to James Garner left back, which I mean, fair enough. Mikalenko's just back off an injury. Give him that 4.5 minutes worth of rest. I'm sure that's helped him a lot.
Just we probably should clarify that Fran is actually the ultimate sound for a red.
He's a great guy, a great guy, but he is a red.
There are rumours circulating that Zara Sultana is the sound for a red, but it's Fran. It's Fran.
I just want to
He serves us alcohol. I mean, he puts up with our nonsense every other weekend.
And I bought him a pint out of our round as well. That's how sound he is.
I hope Darren England gets home tonight and realises he's left his keys at Anfield and he can't get into his house and his wife isn't home. And when he tries to ring his wife, she keeps buttoning him, so he has to sit on the step like a sad man.
I hope he goes to make a brew tonight to watch Match of the Day and the fuse goes in the kettle and trips his circuit breaker and the power goes out for the house and he can't get an emergency electrician until Monday.
There we go. We'll wrap it up there before I have to do any more editing when I get home. But cheers to everybody involved in that very chaotic post-match podcast today. Cheers.
We're going to do it anyway.
Cheers to Dales, who sent us his verdict in from Anfield. We'll have loads coming up this week.
And why isn't he here?
He's probably not back from the game yet. But yeah, loads going on. Blue Monday is on Monday, Les, with Les and Dave. Me and Paddy back on Tuesday with Byline. Good Times is back on Friday.
We're banging the first of a three-parter for 23.
Three-parter?
So if you've got to spare 10 hours, listen to us.
The first ever Good Times three-parter there.
Listen to us.
Very jovial, considering we lost the derby to Liverpool.
Darren England could cram that podcast into 3 minutes.
There we go. Lovely. I enjoyed that. Loads coming up on the Blue Room. Our line stay with the Blues showed a little bit in the Anfield. Up the Toffees, we'll catch you again soon.
Up the Toffees.